They ain't know what the data. They ain't know what the data.
And with that said, I see my special guest. Yes, I do. Hi.
Hi.
All
Can
right.
you hear me?
Yes. Do you have headsets?
I do, but when I put it in, it made it kind of jumbly. So let's see if this will work now. Okay. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, fantastic. Now I can hear you. So it must have just been bad connection the first time I tried it.
Okay,
Okay.
so you can hear me.
I sure can.
Okay.
Okay. Great.
So let me introduce Miss Ashley Ramos, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And she is you're running for congressional candidate District 2, Illinois.
Correct.
District 2, that's Chicago?
Yes, that's the south side of Chicago, but it's almost a quarter of the state. The district is 8 counties worth, but it does cover the south side of Chicago all the way up to the Museum of Science and Industry.
Okay. So, and I've seen you on a couple of Twitter spaces. I actually have Mark Carter, who is a Chicago native. He was on my show a couple of weeks ago. We were on a Twitter space yesterday. That was a really good Twitter space. And I asked a question: are we Americans, particularly Black Americans, being replaced by the illegals? And you came up and you laid out, yes, we are, but you laid out the public policies, particularly in Illinois, that is being passed, that probably have passed already. And you just laid out how we are being replaced by the illegals. So please introduce yourself and we could get into the migrant crisis conversation.
Thank you. So my name is Ashley Ramos, and I'm the congressional candidate for the Republican Party for the state of Illinois District 2, which again is 8 counties. So it's a huge portion of our district. Right now, Robin Kelly holds that seat. She did not win it in the first place. She actually just came by it because Jesse Jackson Jr. went to prison, and she's just kind of been babysitting on it ever since. But it's vital that we start making corrections because my district and the city of Chicago and the whole state of Illinois is suffering. And it's only going to get worse with the migrant issue. Right now, they're estimating at $1.5 million per day is the cost. So this is something that's near and dear to my heart.
Mm-hmm. And guys, please hit the like button and share this video. Thumbs up. So I've been doing several content on. I started off doing the migrant crisis in Chicago because it seemed like that was the main hotbed. It was getting a lot of national attention, and of course, New York City, now Denver. What are some of the public policies that New York State and even on a city level that have been implemented in favor of the illegals?
So in Chicago, there are quite a few local and state amendments and laws that have come into effect that are specifically for migrant purposes. So to control the flow of migrancy, the city of Chicago actually said that buses have to have a permit. I'm not sure what that was. A permit to drop off bus loads, but it's really just to make sure that they have containment there and they know the schedule of when the migrants are being dropped so that they can move them quickly before the news has a chance to catch them. And we're talking independent and your regular news stations themselves. So that's a public policy that the city of Chicago made, is that they have to schedule to drop off the migrants. They also took both Midway and O'Hare Airport and took sections of the airport and have them blocked off with these huge black coverings so that you cannot see sections of where they're actually moving migrants by plane now. So that's two major hub airports that the city of Chicago and Cook County have now prioritized huge portions of for the purpose of being able to move migrants without the general public being able to see, or for independent or regular news stations to be able to document for people to see via the news. So that's on a city level, are ways that they're trying to shuffle and move migrants around without so much of the public eye noticing.
Mhm.
They tried to one of the most despicable things that I think has happened is they tried to take over a senior citizen rec house to make into migrant homes, and these senior citizens got so upset they literally just came out any way that they could and started kicking, tearing down tents, throwing stuff out of the rec space. Like, no, this is the little joy that we have left in life, you're not taking it from us to house these migrants. So these
Mhm.
are old folks coming out to advocate for themselves. Now, what we were talking about on the space was on a state level. The governor and our supermajority Democrat state legislators passed laws so that illegal migrants can get driver's licenses in the state of Illinois. Now, it's already passed, but it's not going into effect until July. The reason that this is so important is because in the state of Illinois, your driver's license is directly linked to voter registration. And they knew that this was going to be a problem. So, in order to try to get ahead of it, to, I don't know, appease people who are not awake enough to figure out what's happening, they said, it's okay. Even though they automatically get the option to register either by computer or by a piece of paper, we're going to have people at the Secretary of State's office that go through and they check every single one of the registrations. So they'll get flagged and they'll get caught if they're not legal. I don't have that kind of faith in government anymore that I trust a human to say, "Oop, there, no, this is the wrong one. We're not going to register them to vote." So, I mean, you're depending on the government to say, yes, yes, we're on the up and up. I mean, I'm running for a government position and I'm telling you, don't do that.
Right.
It's fallible. So they're lining up to bring large amounts of illegal migrants, and already are, to the state of Illinois. They're doing it as secretively as possible by creating these, local level, permits and coverings and this and that. And then on a state level, they're giving them the opportunity to get driver's licenses so that they can move about the state, and then that they will be registered to vote. And like I said, I say that proxy, I understand that the Secretary of State's office says that they're going to check them, but I don't have faith in that.
Right. Now, your district, District 2, I looked it up. It's 49% Black and 42% Hispanic. And then it's everyone else. Um, and of course, you talk about Jesse Jackson Jr., that's legacy. So a lot of Black people and even some Hispanics blindly just go and vote Democrat, because of that legacy there. But, a lot of these policies, come to find out, were being put in place when Ron Emanuel was mayor. The what is it, New America? But they painted for immigration. But now that we have illegals, they're giving them a lot of those benefits as well. Um, However, what are you getting the support from the Black community in District 2 because of the uh, why is important to get the right candidate in? Um, it's I would say you sound more of a statesman. And Judge Joe Brown, he made a difference between the two, a politician and a statesman. To whereas a statesman really go out and fight for the people, particularly their constituents, right? So would you consider yourself a statesman? Even though yes, we call it politician, but what makes you different from your counterpart or anyone else that's in office right now?
I would say the two things that make me really different is that I am, number one, willing to express that my faith has definitely gotten me through a lot of things. So I have to say that God has definitely pushed me through many things. And there's a lot of politicians and statesmen that are afraid to say that, but that I can say. And number two, when I look at being a legislator, and I actually, I want you to ask this question, if you would, to other people who are potentially running for office like me. I have a favorite House representative, and that House representative is Davy Crockett. David Crockett. He was from Tennessee. And the reason that I do is because he made a famous speech, and it's called Not Yours to Give. He went to the floor of Congress, and they were trying to raise money to give to someone in need. And it was an American citizen they wanted to give to need. And Davy Crockett stood up and he said, I will give a week's worth of my own pay to help this individual, but I will not take the tax monies of the individuals that we represent, because it is not my money to give. We state, we make an oath, and we promise that we will pay the debts of the American citizens that are absolutely necessary, but that we will not abuse the privilege and the power of the purse of the American citizens. And it's called Not Yours to Give. It's a 5-page you could read about. It's an amazing story, an amazing speech that he wrote, but it's always stuck with me. It's always resonated that that's the kind of legislator that I want to be, always making sure that I'm taking the consideration of the American people first. And so I think that makes me a statesman more so than a politician, because I'm willing to make that oath and stand by it. And I've also already signed oaths that I will not take money for my campaign from big business, big bank, or big pharma, because I will not sell my soul to them. And that I would not trade on the open stock market should I make it into the seat of representation, because I will not abuse the faith and trust of the American citizen for my own personal gain.
Oh, okay. Because a lot of times that's why a lot of people run for office because of that perk. And so again, listen, I look at it like this. It's I think, because I'm black, let me just specifically talk about black people. We need to stop voting because someone looks like us or come from our same lineage. We have to put policy first. Whether you are presenting these politicians with agendas, or whether they're you are agreeing with the policies that the politicians are running on, we have to put policy first and what's going to help us where we live at locally. And local politics is really what's going to affect us directly on a local level. And real quick, have you met with any grassroots organizations in your district, seeking their support or giving you support? Has that happened?
Yes. So there's, like I said, 8 counties. So it's a very big district, but throughout the different districts, I did a lot of volunteer work before I started running. So I have a few different areas where I have more of a grassroots representation and support from different people that are willing to go and, door knock, walk with me. I even bought a popcorn machine so that way I can go to different places. And if people want to ask questions, other people can sit around and eat popcorn. So that way they can, listen comfortably, bottles of water, stuff like that. Because I really think that, people need to have the opportunity to hear firsthand what we have to say, and again, be able to hold us accountable as people running for an office.
Okay. Well, the election is in November, correct? Because you're going to be on the ballot with the presidency and everything. It's a lot of stuff happened this year. Oh my God, there's a lot of stuff happening. I do want to thank you for coming on, and I definitely want to have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's about to be February. I definitely want to have you come back on a program. I do want to have you on with the judge as well, to have that conversation. But also, I want to promote and push your platform and your campaign, because I'm here, I'm in Ohio, but I will be donating to you because, I feel as though we need more politicians like yourself in these seats. It's very important. So I appreciate you taking the time out. Anything else you want to say to the audience?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. This has been wonderful to have the opportunity to discuss all of these things and to get my platform out and let people know a little bit more about who I am. As a final note, I would just say, whether it's my race or anyone else who's running, make sure that you're voting with your best interest, and that you're just staying informed, and vote, like I said, down ballot. Please do all of those things so that way we can get good people in office across the country, and we can start working to help the people, the American citizen.
One more thing, down ballot is not just vote straight down Democrat or straight down Republican. Down ballot meaning that you look down the ballot and you pay attention
Yes.
on who's running. So
Yes.
yeah, you may, let's say let's say somebody do vote for Joe Biden, but then they may vote for you, you are a Republican for District 2, Congressional Seat District 2. So yeah, look down the ballot, not just one party straight down, unless, that's your choice, but look and see who the candidates are. So I definitely want to have you back because I do want to go more specific. We're talking about men, particularly Black men, going on the barbershops, having those conversations. Hispanics, getting people, what is the feel like on the ground, particularly in Chicago, and of course, promote your campaign. So thank you, Ashley Ramos. I appreciate you coming on. And like I said, I love to have you back. So yeah,
absolutely.
We'll definitely stay in touch. And I am going to put your website link in the description so people could go and donate. So that's very important, donations.
Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who watches and listens. And I do check my email. So if you decide that you want to ask me questions, I will be the one to answer.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you so much. And we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
You too. I like her. That is the type of person, that is the type of politician that you need to be voting for. You have to vote for policies. You have to vote for policies. You have to get involved in your local politics. She's running for District 2 in the state of Illinois. Like she said, it's a very large district. That means she's going to be in the House of Representatives. So if you look at the policies and they're aligned with your policies, that is someone who you need to vote for. Also, she's not bought and paid off. She's not. She's young. She's a statesman or stateswoman. She's not taking money from big pharma or big chemical company or no. She wants donations from the people. She wants to be voted by the people, and she's working for the people. So go to Ashley Ramos, and let me put her website up again. I pinned it in the chat. I'm putting it in the description, right? Yeah. electashley.ramos.com. Donate. Yeah. Stop voting for the same old type of people. Stop. Chicago do need to go red. It's a lot of blue cities that need to go red. Black people, you need to go red. Your life would be so much better. And you have to understand politics and public policies and how it works and how you can have it work in your favor.
Dana with the data. Dana with the data.